Fight week is here and UFC London is this Saturday. I'm going to make my predictions for the fights, but before I do, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe as we have brand new videos every single week. So let's take a look and see who we've got. So in the main event, we've got Tom Aspinall making his return against Mason Tybura. In all honesty, I'm not sure how I feel about this fight. On one hand, it's a good fight for Tom to return to, easing back into the division after an injury, but I wish he'd have fought a big name, someone like Cyril Gane, because if he'd have fought Cyril Gane on the Paris card, a win over him could have put him up in the title opportunity very, very quickly. But you know, if both of these guys win fairly soon, Tom and Gane, we could see them fight in the future and maybe main event a pay-per-view in Europe. But for my actual prediction, Marson's pretty well rounded. He's got good KO power, he's got some submissions under his belt, but Tom's also well rounded and he's faster and he's stronger. So it just seems unlikely that he's not going to win. So I'm going to go with a second round TKO for Tom. But I do worry slightly for Tom, because not just because of his injury, but because he's put so much weight on. He has got massive now. He's got a lot of muscle. And I just wonder, can he adjust to that? And will his cardio be lacking? I'm hoping not, but we'll have to wait and see. In the co-main event, we have Molly McCann facing Julia Sterilanenko. Is that how you say her name? I'm not sure. This, in all honesty, is a bit of a joke of a fight, really. Julia's had, what, 5 fights in the UFC and lost 4 of them. It feels as though the UFC is feeding something to Molly. That'll get her back into that sort of win column. I know a lot of people are saying Molly got exposed in her last fight, but you know, she lost to someone like Erin Blanchfield, you know, who's likely going to be a future champion, and there's no shame into losing people at a higher level. So I'm interested to see where Molly goes from this. I'm going to say a 3rd round TKO or maybe a decision for her here. So then we move on to Nathaniel Wood versus Andre Fili. I can't pretend that I'm not biased towards Nathaniel Wood. I'm a big fan, and I think he's a very interesting prospect. You know, he had a rough 2020, but I can see him making a lot of improvements and going to make some big waves in that featherweight division. You know, if you look at his fight against Charles Jourdain, he made Jourdain look like he shouldn't even be in there with him. He put on an absolute clinic, and I'm expecting the same against Andre, so I'm picking Nathaniel by decision. Then we move on to Paul Craig. Paul Craig's making his middleweight debut against Andre Muniz. At first I was worried that perhaps Paul was going to perhaps be cutting too much weight. We've seen this before, and it can be really difficult for some fighters, like look at Dan Hooker when he came down and fought Arnold Allen. That weight cut was just too much and he didn't have his chin available. So I am worried a little bit for Paul Craig, but seeing him during his training, he's looking fantastic. He's looking in great shape, super lean, and I'm not really going to make my full predictions until he's weighed in, because if he's had a good healthy weight cut, I'm going to pick him. So, you know, but either way, I think it's going to be a super fun fight. You know, both of them are submission specialists, and we're going to get a lot of fun on the ground. And if Paul Craig can work on his striking defense, I think he can have a really, really good chance in the middleweight division, especially when it's not very grapple heavy. There are some very, very interesting fights on this card, and I am really, really looking forward to it. On Saturday, I will be streaming the fight, so make sure you come and say hello, but I do think that's all we've got time for. Thank you for watching. If you can like, comment and subscribe, it really does help us out.